Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. You already know I'm Lisa Marie. You've just tuned into Bank Light. Now, if you like the video, hit like. If you don't like the video, hit dislike, but tell me why you don't like the video. Make sure you subscribe so that the algorithm can continue to kick out my video. And if it's your first time viewing my channel, welcome to my channel. And to my subscribers, you already know. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. All right, you asked for it. I'm bringing it. Paternity Court. Let's go. Now, y'all know I got to interject, right? Okay.
This is a case of Casey versus Ewing, Edwards, and Hawkins.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone.
Good day, Your Honor.
Miss Casey, you say that for more than 25 years, your mother has told you that a deceased man who is listed on your birth certificate is your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now another man, Mr. Edwards, is claiming he is your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ewing, you say you are sure Mr. Edwards is not your daughter's father. In fact, you say you are 100% certain that a man named Otis Hawkins, who you claim was shot and killed, is in fact your daughter's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so imagine being this young lady, right? Miss Casey, who for 25 years believed that Mr. Hawkins, which allegedly is deceased, is her father. Now, you have Mr. Edwards who's saying, no, he's not your father, I am. Now, imagine that. Imagine the toil of that. All right, let's get back to the video, y'all.
And Mr. Edwards, you claim that you and Miss Ewing were still in a sexual relationship at the time her daughter was conceived and hope to prove that you are indeed Miss Casey's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Miss Casey, please tell the court, what has it been like to spend your life without a father?
Actually, it's been hell. Not knowing where I came from, I built a bond with Otis Hawkins, who's on my birth certificate, even though he's not ever been in my life. I do not know what the man looks like. I don't have a picture of him. I don't have anything about him, but he is on my birth certificate.
All right. Now, y'all see all the emotions she's going through, right? So I looked it up. I said, you know what? Let me see what growing up without a father can do to significantly older adults. Because now we don't even have a child here. We have a grown woman here. All right. So it says, growing up without a father can significantly impact older adults by potentially leading to increased risk of mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, difficulties with trust and intimacy, and challenges in forming healthy relationships. So now you can see why she's going through, because this is the effects, and this is how she's feeling emotionally. Crazy.
My oldest daughter I passed Hawkins on to her. So I pretty much raise my kids the way that I have never been raised. I make sure that the mother and the father is in the home and they know exactly who their father is, whether he wants to be there or not.
And that's what you should do. If you know that you didn't grow up without your father, you should be making it your business. Even women, come on, women. You say, you know what, my father was never. Well, make sure that your daughter that you have, if you have a daughter, is growing up with her father, knowing who her father is, spending time with her father. I said this on some of the other videos, because when a daughter doesn't grow up with her father, she begins to have a lack of confidence and have problems with decision making. And then you want to curse her out when she can't make a decision. You want to curse her out when she has a lack of confidence. But have you could it be you have attributed to these facts? All right. So never too late, right? Thank God, never too late. Let her spend some time with her dad, slowly but surely. Let's go.
Ms. Ewing, when you hear your daughter talk about how much it hurt to grow up without her father, how do you feel?
It hurts me to find out that's how she feels. If I would have knew that that's what she needed, I would have did my best to help her, but I did not know.
All right. See, if she would have knew, I got to interject because a lot of y'all listening say, well, I didn't know. Well, now you're hearing it. Let the child get to know her father. Why? Because you don't want her to become an adult having all of these particular issues and the side effects of not having her father present when you had an opportunity to do so. Let's go.
Miss Casey, you seem to kind of roll your eyes like you don't believe your mother.
It's not that I don't believe her. She has 9 children. My other siblings had their father in their life. Me, it was like,
wow.
It was kind of rough. It was real hard on me.
Ms. Ewing, what have you told Miss Casey about Mr. Hawkins and your relationship?
I called his cousin to see did she want to spend time with LaConda, and she informed me then that he had been shot in the head by his brother and he was deceased. LaConda was 7 years old when I was told that. I didn't want to tell her until she got older. I didn't know how to tell her.
No, okay, so now we're hearing her reason. That makes sense, right? The child is 7 years old. Would you have told your child at 7, hey, this has happened to you? Let me know what you think. What is the good age? And I said this before. What is the best age to tell your child, hey, you know what? This has happened to your father. Should it be the age of accountability? I believe in some of the Jewish laws is age of 12. What do y'all think? What's the best age? Some people might say 18. I believe about 12, depending on the child's mentality, is a good age to say, hey, let me let you know. So you can begin to process. Would you like to meet your paternal grandmother, which means your father's mother? Would you like to meet your paternal aunts on the father's side? And would you like to build a relationship with them? Do I need to get in DNA to be sure that this is his child, however? Because sometimes you could think it's a particular man's child, but are you really sure? I'm going to leave that with you. Let's go.
And I'm telling you exactly what I was told.
And what was your relationship like? Were you all in a committed relationship?
Yes, ma'am, we was until he came back from overseas.
You obviously were in a relationship, had a sexual relationship with Mr. Edwards.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Miss Casey, when did you hear that Mr. Edwards could possibly be your father?
Mr. Edwards had inboxed me, and we had spoke. I had spoke with his youngest child, and he was like, you sound like me. I seen a picture of you and my dad in St. Louis with my sister, which is his daughter. She was like, you kind of look like me. Our face was just similar to each other. Like, she's certain that I was her sister.
So to be clear, Mr. Edwards is your older sister's father?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So Mr. Edwards is her older sister on her mother's side. Her mother has 9 kids, so he has another daughter with the mom. And he also has a younger child with someone else, but they kind of look alike. And so he's saying, hey, you know what? You kind of look like me. So one of his other children. And so
we lost one. We lost one boy. We ain't losing this one. I'm not losing you. I'm not losing you.
All right. So it looks like Mr. Edwards just lost a boy. They're not going into detail on what happened to one of his other children with someone else. He lost a boy. And he's saying, hey, so now he went around looking for his kids, any of his kids that he believed he have out there. He say, hey, I'm not losing another child. And so now and that's a good thing. If he believes that he's the father, he should be right where he's at in court saying, hey, I believe you're my child.
Why are you so convinced that you're her father?
I got 6 other daughters.
Woo.
And my
he's making the
daughter,
girls, y'all.
If you look at her and look at her,
wow, they
look
do look
very
similar.
similar.
Yes,
they do.
Ma'am, they look.
And so at some point you hear from Mr. Edwards.
Yes, Your Honor.
You go meet him. What's going through your mind?
I did not have a bond with him. Me and my older sister had a conversation about my mother, and she was like, well, what if he is your father, since mother lied to us for so many years about different things? What if Mr. Edwards become your father? And I said, I don't believe so, because the bond that I had felt with him, it wasn't there. It wasn't.
All right, so she's saying she didn't feel a bond, but it looks like the mother's been lying about quite a few things. So now she's not trusting, as you can see, and that could bring on more emotional, make her cry even more. Like, I don't know what to believe. So she's kind of, to me, she's a wreck, you know, because we could kind of understand that she's growing up with the low self-esteem. She's growing up with depression, and you know, she's having all the symptoms of someone who didn't grow up with her father. All right.
They did not expose if he was alive or deceased. But
Let me see if I can get it to start right.
All these years, you've had Otis Hawkins on your birth certificate.
yes, Your Honor. Eventually, when I got over the age of 18, me and my husband sat down and we did a research. I got on a social network and I found Otis Hawkins.
All right, so now she did her own homework, you know, so she's saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to find, yeah, because she had to. You could see how emotional she is about this particular, wow.
At that present time,
so she has to be an
contacted
investigator.
The 3 numbers that I had for him, they was all disconnected. So at that point, me being frustrated, holding everything in from being a child, I just blew up and let it go.
If you had the opportunity to speak to him, what would you have said?
It would be like a dream come true, like what anybody would love to meet Jesus. I would love to meet him. It would be amazing. I would just ask him a lot of questions like, what happened? Why did you leave? Is it something that she said to you or did to you to make you leave me and not want to be in my life?
He didn't leave because of you, LaConda. He left because of me.
And we can't stress this enough. You know, a lot of times kids and even adults say, you know, it was something I did. No, it's not something you did. It's something he could not get along, maybe with your mother at the time. Maybe they had something, you know, even without knowing the situation, you already know. Usually it's something between the 99.99, if not 100% of the time, it has nothing to do with the child. I don't know of a situation that it had anything to do with the child, unless he said, and even if he said he didn't want a child, has nothing to do with you, because this was conversations that was had between 2 adults. So it's still, so I could just say right then and there, 100% of the time, it has nothing to do with the child. Because even if because it's 2 consenting adults and they say, hey, I don't want a child, it has nothing to do with you. It's between them 2. Regardless of which way it go, I'm just going to say it like that. It has nothing to do with you. So if you're a child out there and you're saying, listen, and you're of age and you're saying, you know what, it's my fault. No, it's not your fault. These are 2 consenting adults. Whatever situation they had going on, it has nothing to do with you. Let's go.
Not you. You had nothing to do with it.
Well, I have took a lot of blame for that.
Well, you need to stop feeling like that.
That's right.
He left me. I left him.
You were an innocent child.
You was a child. You had nothing to do with it.
Miss Casey, all this time, you really have been torn.
Yes, ma'am. I don't believe any child in this world should grow up without a parent. Whether it's the mother or the father, I don't believe any child should have to go through that. And
exactly.
Then Mr. Hawkins and Mr. Edwards are African American. She is Caucasian. Everyone said I look Puerto Rican, which is Mexican or something. How is that possible if both of them is African American? So
exactly. So now she's saying, listen, people tell me I look Mexican, but hey, now I'm finding out Mr. Hawkins is African American. My mom is Caucasian. So how can I look Mexican? Question.
Kind of confusing to me, growing up not knowing where I'm from, who I came from, but her.
Well, Miss Casey.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been told for over 25 years.
25 years, y'all. 25 years. Okay, we got a surprise for y'all. I'm going to keep it on part 1. Don't worry.
Otis Hawkins, the man you believe to be your father was dead.
Yes, ma'am.
But he's alive. But he's alive.
Now, can you imagine? I told y'all, I'm going to keep it on part 1, but we're not going to stay on part 1. You're going to find out what else happens behind this on part 2. Now, how would you feel? And some of y'all, let me know your experiences in the comments. Feel free to share. Someone already did share, and I'm still believing for good results in what they shared with me in the comments. And so do share. 25 years, you believe a particular man is your father and he's dead. And then you find out after you've looked for him and you find out he's alive. How would you feel? Let me know in the comments. All right, this is part 1. You're going to see the results and everything he has to say on part 2. We got a lot still coming up. Make sure you check out part 2. Check it out in the playlist. Check it out at the end of the screen. All right, I'm Lisa Marie. Make sure you comment, and I'll see you on the next video.